A lot of people have a somewhat of a misconception around what consistency really is, and I kind of want to dispel that in this little short video. So, a lot of people hear the word consistency, something that continually happens the same way at the same time, you know, and that's not a bad idea. Again, if it's constantly reoccurring, then that's consistency, right? You're being consistent. But consistency doesn't mean perfection, and that's where a lot of people get things wrong because people think consistency is like the ultimate end goal where it's like you have to be doing it at the same time every day for the exact same amount of time, same results, same this, same that, right? No. That's not consistency. That's unrealistic. Should we be aiming to get as close to that as possible? Yes. But in regards to going to the gym, if you go to the gym 5 times a week and you're aiming to go six, and some weeks you do go six, but you go 1 week you go six, 1 week you go four, 1 week you go five, you go six, you go five, you're still making great progress. And that's what I want to talk about in this video is essentially be a little less hard on yourself with consistency and how to build it up. So, first things first, how to build your consistency. When you're starting out, it's hard to get in the gym. Maybe you're a little intimidated. I wasn't. I was really excited to go to the gym. I loved it. But maybe you're a little intimidated to be in there. You're afraid someone's going to judge you, which that's 100% not true. I love seeing beginners in the gym. Sometimes I'll go up to them and just give them a fist bump if I know they're new because it's like, yeah, man, you're doing something good for yourself. I love that shit because it's good to see someone's making a positive change in their life. That's awesome, right? But for one, nobody's going to judge you. But let's say maybe you're a little scared of that anyways. I understand irrational fears that I struggled with them for a while in other areas. Or maybe you're scared of the weights. Some people are scared to lift because they think they're going to get hurt or it's going to stunt their growth or something, or they're going to get too bulky, which is hilarious. But whatever limiting belief you have that stops you from going to the gym, I get it. They're going to happen at first, and the only way to beat those is over time, continually reminding yourself they're not true and proving it to yourself by showing up and doing the work. But when you're not used to showing up and doing the work because it's hard, that's another reason. Some people might just not want to go because they don't like lifting because it physically makes them sore. You feel the soreness in your muscle. It's uncomfortable. Whatever your reason for not wanting to go is, you need to set yourself a goal that's realistic for you right now. So if you hate going to the gym, go once before you do anything else and tell yourself, I'm just going to go in there. Just going to set foot in the gym. And at that point, you've set the bar low enough to where that's progress, and then you keep pushing it slightly further, right? Again, this goes back to the concept of progressive overload, which for those who don't know because they're beginners, progressive overload is continually increasing the amount of weight you add to the bar or the amount of reps you do, or just increasing how hard the exercise is so your body slowly adapts at a realistic pace to the increases and you make bigger muscles and you get stronger. It's the same thing with your mind. It's the same thing with being consistent. You want to be consistent, set the bar somewhere you can start with and then push it slowly. So start by going to the gym once a week for 20 minutes if that's what you need to do. And then say, okay, I'm comfortable doing that. Now let's increase it to 2 times a week and 3 times a week. And then once you get to, say you can only go 5 times a week because on the weekends you're too busy and you can only go during the weekdays, or you can only go 3 times because you're only free Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Once you've done 20 minutes those days, increase it to 30, then increase it to 40 and 50 and 60 and keep increasing it until you're at a point where you've essentially hit diminishing returns. I'd say 6 days a week for 45 minutes to an hour is a very good point to be at. That could be like your end point almost of how much you actually want to go to the gym. But to start, you need to start simple, right? It's like you can't expect to go into the gym and deadlift 400 pounds on the first day. So are you going to expect to be going to the gym as much as someone who's been working out for 3 years? No, of course not, right? For me, I work out multiple times a day. If I told a beginner that, if I do tell a beginner that, or someone who doesn't work out, they look at me like I have two heads, right? It's kind of hilarious, but because it seems unfathomable to them, they think, oh, he must like hate his life. I love my life. It's fun, right? But that's only because I built it up. I started out by working out a couple times a week, and I was enthusiastic about it at that point. I worked out 3-4 days a week when I was 14, 15. And then I slowly built it up more, And ultimately, I'm at the point now because I slowly built up how much I worked out. And that's the thing with consistency. It's not about being consistent in the short term, it's like, yeah, I did it for a week every day. Because then you could do that. You could do the 3-hour workouts for your first 5 days in the gym. And then you'll get too sore to go one day. And then you'll think, oh, I missed a day. And then you'll fall off your momentum and you won't be consistent in the long term. You'll end up going 3 more times throughout the month. Whereas if you set yourself something that's easier, you're still pushing yourself a little bit, but you're not pushing so much far, like so far beyond where you can go. So maybe instead of doing 5 times in that first week and then 3 times throughout the month, you'll do 3 times a week. And then what's that? That's 12 gym sessions in your first month instead of 8. Right there. Long term, you've beaten yourself in consistency compared to what you would have done if you made it hard on yourself right away. So that's the thing. Consistency, you'll miss some days and you have to hold yourself accountable to that. It's like, yeah, I was supposed to go and I missed it. Okay, now I have to go tomorrow. Or now I have to make my next workout twice as long to compensate, right? Just to build the discipline of being there. But just understand that consistency has to be built up, and missing a day is part of that process. Making mistakes is part of learning anything. Learning how to be consistent is learning how to beat your mind in its own mental game of telling you to not go to the gym. Every time you get in there, you're getting a step closer to beating those reasons until it literally just becomes, I don't have time to go because I can't go, or because of some other rational reason for not going that day. But it's not, you're not worried about, oh, I'm not consistent. It's not a worry in your mind anymore, right? But 2 major lessons I want you to take away from this to summarize this video. Build up your consistency slowly. Start small and build and go big. Just like adding weight in the gym. You don't go on to the bench press and add 3 plates on the first day, right? You start with the bar. That's 1. Build up your consistency slowly. Progressive overload applies to everything in life, right? Many things anyways. But so apply that here with consistency. And 2, missing a day is fine. Now, this isn't an excuse to go miss a day so you can say, yeah, I'm going to kick back and make a mistake so I learn how to be consistent. Because that's not what the point is. The point is you miss a day when you burn yourself out, or when you burn your willpower out, when you burn your discipline out. Just like a muscle, again, progressive overload, just like a muscle, it has to be burnt out to grow. You have to strain your muscle to grow them, right? You have to strain your muscles to grow them. Your willpower and your discipline work like a muscle, right? You push yourself to the point where you don't have enough willpower to continue, you rest, and then you come back with more willpower and you push yourself past that point again until eventually you're so strong with that willpower muscle that you can go every day. So just keep those things in mind. Just understand that it's a long process. You're not going to be perfect at it at first. Hold yourself accountable. Make sure you write a note in your journal or on your phone. Tell someone. This is a very good way of holding yourself accountable. I didn't go to the gym today and it sucks, and I'm going to hold myself accountable and go tomorrow. Just text that to your buddy who works out, or someone who supports you in working out, or write that for yourself on your on your phone notes app or wherever. As long as you hold yourself accountable to those missed days, they're a learning opportunity and they'll make you better in the long run. Just keep that in mind.